Welcome back to the lab, Mr. Power here. If you're like some of my students, you're probably finding GCSE chemistry a little bit difficult, especially when you get into things like bonding. So if you struggle with bonding, if you struggle with 6 markers, if you're struggling with identifying some of the compounds or how the electrons are interacting, then like, comment, and favorite this video, and let's get you top marks. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about are ionic bonds. Now remember, ionic bonds occur between metal and non-metal elements. Okay? And the reason this happens is because we're dealing with ions, and that's when elements gain or lose a number of electrons. So when we're dealing with ionic bonding, one element is going to lose the electron and one is going to gain. If they lose the electron, they become a positive ion. If they gain electron, they become a negative ion. Key way to remember, positive people always like to donate and give away. Greedy people, negative people always like to take for themselves. So if they're gaining electrons and all for themselves, they're negative. If they're giving it and they're giving away their electrons to those in need, they are positive ion. Key shortcut you need to know for ionic bonding is oil rig. What that stands for is oxidation is loss, reduction is gain. Let's take a look at what that means. So if we take a look at the ionic bond between sodium and chlorine, that makes sodium chloride, like we talked about in one of our previous videos. Sodium is oxidized. It is losing an electron. So our metal is being oxidized, our non-metal is being reduced, reduction is gain, so our chlorine is gaining an electron. And that is one of your ionic bonds. Second one you need to know are covalent bonds. Now this occurs between 2 non-metal atoms, and this is identified when electrons are shared. Let's take a look. So an example is your diatomic element of chlorine, Cl2. Chlorine is diatomic, so it likes to partner with itself. So if we look, by these two sharing a pair of electrons, so one from this chlorine atom and one from this chlorine atom, it still gives each of our chlorines a full outer shell or a full valence shell, giving them a total of 8. And that would be an example of a covalent bond when elements share electrons. Our final type of bonding is metallic bonding. Now, this occurs only in metals, and this is primarily due to the electrostatic interactions between the delocalized electrons and the positive metal ion. Remember, metals are unique in that they have delocalized electrons, meaning that their electrons can flow around, and that's one of the reasons why metals are really good conductors of electricity and thermal energy. So, let's have a quick recap. If we are dealing with ionic bonding, we are dealing with a metal and a non-metal. They are going to be either gaining or losing electrons. Remember, oil rig. If we're covalent bonding, we're dealing with 2 non-metals, and this is when electrons are shared. And finally, our metallic bonds are when our bonds exist between metals, and it's due to the electrostatic interactions. Hope this helps. Let me know in the comments if it did.